Hey, what's going on, guys and gals? My name's J-Man here for Vagabond Daily. Doing things a little differently this time around. I want to talk to you about a new purchase I just made. A pretty cool purchase. It was a long time coming. It's time to put down the old beast. I do miss that car already, but I had to trade in my 2005 Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art. It was my project car, and I had high hopes for it, but it just it just didn't turn out to be, which is kind of sad. And I love that car. It had pretty much everything the Evo had, just minus the all-wheel drive and of course the Evo engine. But it did have the suspension, the brakes, the handling. Everything was pretty much Evo, except what I really needed. So, but anyway, I had that car since like 2011, and it was just time to. No, 2012 is when I got it. It was time to give it up. I never had anything wrong with it, and here, probably within the last 3, 4 months, everything fell apart. Everything. AC went out right in the beginning of summer. Fun times. The gears were starting to slip and mess up, so I needed a new transmission put in it, which that was a manual. The only thing I ever drive manuals, so I needed a new clutch. I needed a new clutch kit, flywheel. I needed everything. So to figure it all out, I was going to put more into it than the trade-in value. Now get this. Get this. This is the craziest thing ever. I bought that car probably really overpriced because it is a niche car. I bought that car, I think I paid around 10,000 for it. Had about 79,000 miles. Might have had a little less than that. I paid about 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that ballpark. I checked the trade-in value on it. Wow. Only trades in for anywhere between $500 to $1,200. I lost that much money on that car. That's how crazy car buying is. Because you lose your butt on trade ins unless I sold it outright. Also, oh yeah, back in 2014, big snowstorm, and I hit a snowdrift, and that car sits really low, so I hit a snowdrift and broke off the front lip. To replace that, $600. All in all, I was going to pay probably close to $2,500, $3,000 to get everything on this car fixed. So definitely not worth it. Anywho, I stumbled around. I think I made a video a few months back, and I was interested in this really, really sharp BMW. I really wanted it. They wanted about 13.5 for it. Might have been 13.9. I really wanted it. It was sharp. It had a diesel in it, which I never had a diesel engine before, especially in a car, but that thing would just go. The torque on it was just crazy. Crazy. It had close to, I think it was like 450 pounds of torque in a 250 horsepower car. And that was just base. And that thing would just go. You could eat the tires off that easy, especially rear wheel, because it was a rear wheel drive. I really wanted it, but I thought long and hard about it, and I turned it down. Too much money. I found another BMW that I was interested in. Really, really sharp car. It was a 2002, and it was a manual. It was up in St. Louis. I almost bought it. It was just the right price. I got to looking, doing a lot of research on BMW, and I think it was just an ego thing because I really wanted because it was a BMW. And the maintenance on those things are crazy. You could sink a lot of money into maintaining those cars because everything's premium on them. Everything. So I talked myself out of it a long talk because I almost was very close to sealing a deal and buying it, but I decided against it. I found a really cool Mazda, and I wanted to kind of stay in the Japan market, and I never really thought about it, but I found this Mazda 3, and it was really, really great shape. Had a few dings in it, nothing major. The only knock that I had against it was that it was an automatic. I don't do automatics. The price was fairly reasonable, 7,000, It was a 2008, had about 52,000 miles. Oh, it did have a crash, but the title was clear. So I looked at it. I almost pulled the trigger on that, and I got to searching. I was like, let's just have some fun. I really wanted a manual. And I stumbled across this 2007 red. I went from mustard to ketchup. Red 2007 Mazda 3. This was a sport, so it wasn't a base model. It had the 2.3 liter engine, and it was a manual. And they only wanted $7,900 for it. Here is the kicker. Well, there's actually two kickers. First kicker, it was in crazy, crazy good shape for this car. 2007, 10 years old. And two, it only had 46,000 miles on it for a 10-year-old car. One owner. The guy who had this must have taken great care and must have just put it in a garage and never, hardly ever drove it. This thing was immaculate. There was no wear on the tires, no curb rash, anything like that. There was nothing. It was perfect. Interior was fine. Everything was perfect on this car. So I went up, decided to get it. And I was like, I did some specs on it. It's front-wheel drive, like I said, 2.3 liter. Horsepower is a little lacking, 156 horsepower. So it's just a little bit lacking than what I had in the Rally Art. I think Rally Art had like 164, so it's not really. But it is a 5-speed, got the inline 4 in it, and yeah, I'm very happy. It's a S Sport. It's not the Grand Touring or just the Touring. So just amazing car. I love it, and I only paid $7,900 for it. Immaculate shape, 46,000 miles, ladies and gentlemen. This car is pretty sweet. I plan on having it a long time. Did some research on it, and apparently these things last forever. Maintenance is extremely low, which I like my cars like I like my women. Low maintenance. That's right. Yeah, so I made the purchase and had to say goodbye to the Lancer. I was really sad to let it go. Like, I took, this last picture here I took of the Lancer, and it's sad. People just don't understand. If you're not a car lover, if you're not a car enthusiast, you just don't understand just saying goodbye and be like, I had projects for you, and I really wanted to. I paid it off last year, and I was really excited because I was like, oh, I can take all this extra money, and then all of a sudden it just crapped on me, and just like that, it was just like, nope, nope, nope. So I don't know. Oh, this mic's horrible. Sorry, I'm recording on my Beats headphone mic. I'm also making the transition of jumping from desktop to MacBook Pro. I had to buy one for school. Didn't want to. A lot of money. So I'm making the transition of switching everything over. I was using Wondershare. Love that. Filmora. Amazing. But now I'm using Premiere Pro, and it's a whole new different ball game. And Macs are a whole different ball game when you go from Mac to or if you go from Windows to a Mac. So it's work with me here. I'm just learning the process. Anyway, yeah, so I made the purchase, got a 2007 Mazda 3 Sport, manual, all that good stuff. I'm pretty excited. I took it out for I've been driving it since last Wednesday. But yeah, handles really well. Not as good. Not as good on corners as the Lancer, but I'm working with it, and I'm pretty excited, and I'm really hoping to have this car for a long time, and yeah, we'll see what I can do. I might make it my new project car. Who knows? Anywho, I'm done rambling, talking about this car. I know it's not much to some people, but I like cars. I wish I could afford a BMW. It's just I just can't sink that much money into a car right now. Maybe later on down the road, I'm making that money. Hopefully. All right, I'm out. Have yourself a great day. If you like what I do here, please subscribe, like. I appreciate it. I really do. All right, have a good night, and I will catch you on the next video. See ya.